What is up? So, I mean, this stupid van I'm driving doesn't have air conditioning because the AC belt broke. Like, it's weird to have like a newer car with more than one belt. Like, usually you got a serpentine belt. But these Transits have the serpentine belt for everything else, and then one belt for the AC. Go figure. Anyway, so yeah. If I periodically roll the window down and it gets super noisy, I apologize in advance. But before I get into this fucking crazy story I want to tell you guys, rumble strips. So there's all this shit in the news right now about Elon and Trump not getting along. I guess they're like going back and forth. Like, I wonder if that's a work, right? Like, Elon spends millions of dollars, like hundreds of millions of dollars or something to help get this guy in office. He works with him in the Doge and all that, and brings in all these like smart ass young people to go through all the stuff and, you know, do all these things they've been doing. And then all of a sudden Elon leaves and it's a big fight. Well, what makes me think could be like a work like in wrestling, you know, like it's really now what you see is, you know, Elon's going back to do his old Tesla and SpaceX and whatever else he's working on thing. So, I mean, and the Tesla stock has dropped like, way down. Yeah, like even my buddy Dave just bought a Tesla and he got it used and he said he got it dirt cheap, like cheap for a Tesla, right? And he said when he went to the dealership, to the used car dealership, and he was looking at cars and the guy was telling him, he said, yeah, he's this gay couple, these two guys come in, they had matching Teslas and they traded them in. They said they needed to trade them in right away because they didn't want to be driving these Nazi vehicles or something like that. And I said, are you shitting me? And he's like, no, dude, I swear to God, that's what the guy at the dealership told me. He's like, and, you know, the resale value on those things are crap. Like, I mean, a car is the worst investment ever. They really don't keep their value. Pickup trucks keep their value. But, like, a normal car doesn't hold its value. You know? So, and those electric cars are even worse. But yeah, just, you know, maybe it's a work. Maybe they're doing this so Elon goes back to work and his stock goes back up and he can fix his company. They might have worked it out in some back room. Like, listen, man, I gotta go back to Tesla. I'm gonna say some shit, and, you know, you be you and get mad, and, you know, see how it goes. You know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows with all these fucking weird ass people. But anyways, so I want to tell you this crazy ass story about this murder. So there's this lady, her name's Chelsea Perkins, right? She went to high school with this dude, Matthew Dunmeyer, I believe is how you say his name. Anyway, back in 2017, she went to the Virginia Beach police and said this dude raped her. Okay? Well, then the police, they investigate and they say, well, there's not enough evidence of that. There's no evidence of that or whatever. Like, we can't pursue a case on this. And they go about their lives. You know, who knows if it happened or if it didn't, but that's the story. Anyway, fast forward to 2021, March of 2021, they find this guy dead in the Cuyahoga Valley National Park in Cuyahoga County, out by Cleveland, Ohio. And so the FBI comes in, and, you know, state police, whatever, they're doing an investigation, right? and they find this chick's DNA on a water bottle that's next to him, right? They find his body at like 10 or 11 in the morning. Some like hikers find him. And they find this chick's DNA on the water bottle. They find her DNA on his body. They start piecing things together. Like the night before, he goes out with some friends, and he's telling his friends, like, yeah, I'm going out with this chick from high school. She's coming to pick me up. We're gonna hang out, you know. And his boss sees him get into like a rental car with some dark-haired chick with tattoos, right? So I mean, if he knew that she was trying to accuse him of rape 4 years earlier, I think he would have went with her. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess horny dudes are stupid. I don't really know. But anyway, so I think the story said they spent the night together, but her and her husband live in like DC area, like Virginia, DC area. And they drove all the way to Ohio, got an Airbnb, and then she goes and picks this dude up. I don't know if she spent the night with him or not. I don't remember if the story said that, but I'm pretty sure it did, right? And then they go for a walk in the woods, and she fucking shoots him and kills him. And then she sends a Facebook message to her tattoo artist in Detroit and says, hey, you know, like, I'm coming out, or maybe she sent it before. Just say, I'm coming out there, I want to set up an appointment, but I got to make a stop in Ohio first, or something like that, which is fucking nuts. And then she goes and gets a tattoo in Detroit. So anyway, they're piecing all this stuff together, and she's the #1 suspect. And I guess she used to be part of the Coast Guard, and then she became like an OnlyFans model or some shit. I can't remember the name she used for OnlyFans. But anyway, so this dude's parents aren't happy that she hasn't been arrested yet, right? Like, they need to get all the evidence before they go and arrest her, because, you know, they don't like prosecuting a case they could lose. So this dude's parents decide they're going to take matters into their own hands, okay? So they drive to Virginia. His mom dresses up like a UPS driver, delivery driver, and goes up to her apartment and knocks on the door. The lady answers the door, and this kid's mom shoots her in the stomach like several times. Wrong lady. It's not even Miss Perkins. It's not even this chick. Right? She shoots the wrong chick. Well, then when they leave, right, she runs back to the car, gets to the car with his dad. They change license plates, and they're like, you know, they're trying to get away. Well, when the cops when they figure it out and they start closing in on them, I think she gets pulled over in Florida or something. She shoots and kills herself. She doesn't go to jail, right? They catch the dad. The dad, he gets like 3 years for like accessory after the fact or some shit. He's getting sentenced to 3 years. But the reason all this story came out is because she finally went to court and she pled guilty to like I don't remember, but it wasn't like murder or capital murder. It was some other type of murder charge, not involuntary manslaughter, but, you know, murder 2 or some shit. And yeah, but luckily the girl that his mom shot in the stomach, thinking it was this Chelsea Perkins chick, luckily she survived the attack. Because, I mean, that, to be murdered for something you didn't do on a case of mistaken identity is just crazy. It's fucking, that sucks. right? Because these, I mean, I get it, like you're grieving for your son or whatnot, but to go and try to take matters into your own hands, that doesn't help nobody. And then you get the wrong motherfucker. Like this, now this poor girl's life is all fucked up. She's shot. She's got to fight for her life, and you know, who knows what else tragedy she's got to deal with from that. And then now you shoot and kill yourself, and then, you know, he's dead, and now his dad's in prison for 3 years and has to deal with all this shit in prison. But anyway, so Chelsea Perkins, she pled guilty to whatever charge. God, I wish I could remember. And she's getting sentenced September 9th of this year, and she's only facing 20 to 25 years in prison after all of this. You know? Like, she purposely got a hold of this dude, went and picked him up, and then got him out in the woods, and then shot and killed him. Like, she knew what she was doing. Like, how's that not capital murder, like life in prison, death sentence type shit? I don't know. Because that's the definition of lying in wait. Like, you set this up. Like, it wasn't a crime of passion. Like, oh, 4 years ago he raped me and he didn't get in no trouble. Now me and my husband are going to drive to Ohio and take care of this shit. Like, no, it's not like, oh, he raped me yesterday, let's go kill him. Right? It's not. Like, you had 4 years to think about it. And then you planned it all out. Crazy. Yeah, it's a crazy fucking story, man. She kills dude. Dude's parents try to kill her, get the wrong person. Then his mom kills herself, and his dad's in jail for 3 years. Like, fucking nuts, bro. Fucking nuts. Crazy world we live in, you know? And there's like... Actually, I'll tell you one more quick story. There's these parents, I think they're in South Carolina, right? The mom's at the store with her 10 and 7-year-old son, and they want to go home. And she's like, it's only like, it's a straight shot walk to their house. And I guess it's only a couple blocks. She says, all right, fine, you guys can walk home, be careful, watch the streets, yada, 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 you know, like a parent would. They go walk home, and the 7-year-old runs out in the street and gets hit by a car and dies. Tragic accident. Like, this horrible. Well, then the parents get arrested, and they're being held on, like, child endangerment, involuntary manslaughter, like, all these charges. They got, like, over $1 million bond, and they're not even allowed to go to their son's funeral. Their 10-year-old who witnessed the whole thing doesn't have his parents there to help him through this. Like, this is fucking crazy. Like, I mean, I guess you could say, like, yeah, you shouldn't let your 10 and 7-year-old walk home on their own. But really? Because, like, if it's not that far, like, I mean, shit, dude, I used to walk to school in kindergarten, and it was probably about the same distance, you know? And you're together with your older brother. Like, I don't get it. Like, see kids that age walking around my neighborhood all the freaking time by themselves. Like, how you could say it's child endangerment and all this other stuff is beyond me. Steve's got somebody. There's nobody even there. He's just sitting outside the road with his lights on. Maybe he just got done writing a ticket. Yeah, it's horrible. Like, they lose their son. Now they're sitting in jail. They can't even go to his funeral. They're facing all these charges. Like, I could see if they were at home fucking cracked out or all doped out and they didn't know their kids left. Like, I could see that. Right? But the mom said, go ahead, you guys can walk home. And she says it's the first time she ever let them do something like that. You know, these things happen all the time. That's why it's called an accident. The 70-year-old lady that hit the kid, she's not in any trouble whatsoever because it was an accident. You know, witnesses said like the kid was standing on the corner and then just took off, and his brother tried to grab him. You know, when I was like 11 or 12, my cousin Jessica died almost the same way. The day after her 9th birthday. My uncle and his wife at the time were going out to get her birthday present, and her and her older brother Jason walked to the store. The babysitter gave her a couple dollars so she could go to the corner store and get some candy. When they were walking back, she took off running across the street. Jason yelled for her, and she got hit by a car. And she died the day after her 9th birthday. That's why my oldest daughter's name is Jessica. So, like, these things happen. Like, it's tragic. It sucks. Sucks for everybody. It sucks for the lady that hit the poor kid. It sucks for the people that witnessed it. The family. Like, and then you put tragedy on top of tragedy. For what? I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. I don't know. You tell me. But anyway, I'm sorry this was a depressing ass fucking video. Tragedy. But I don't know. I thought the story about that chick killing that dude and his parents, like, that's a fucking crazy story, man. So, alright. I'll be back soon. You guys be good. I'll be back.